May I please have your attention? May I please have your attention, please?
2022, take it back to 01. Back when yelling Poof was shocking and fun. Back when Musketeers exploded onto the scene. Britney and Justin were in sync, know what I mean? Steven Tyler screamed he didn't want to miss a thing. Back when Carson Daly dominated the screen. Back a couple decades before I felt totally exposed. Whoa. Hold up, whoa Nelly. Dr. Dre is scheduled to be featured on my telly. This about to be the best, there's nothing you can tell me. A heavy dose of nostalgia, no better way to sell me.
Just then, a panic falls.
I think I need to get my friends Frank and Jan and Cole. There's no way it will be better than the TRL show. Kane and DB, hell no. Hype beats will get fed for show. Time to level my expectations still low. They were once real high, gotta make them real low. Hit them with the Dillo. They were once real high, gotta make them real low. Hit them with the Dillo.
And now I know that whenever my expectations get too high, I need to Dillo them. I need to Dillo those expectations. Because what could possibly deliver to the hype that's in my mind? Nothing.
It's Theme Park Thursday Live with Dillos Dudes. Featuring Frank. And Jen.
I never know how long that black screen lasts. Hi, everybody. This is Theme Perk. What? Theme Perk? It's going well so far. Can we all hear me? I mean, first of all, if you can hear me, it's better than when Frank does his solo. So I can say wrong words. It's fine. This is Theme Park Thursday Live. I am Jen. Frank, he's not here. And when did I find out he wouldn't be here? Yesterday afternoon. We're not even, whatever. But we're going to do it without him. And I'm changing things up. And Lewis said, what is this? Change to the format. Dillos change like Joey shares food. They don't. And it's true. There's a little change up to the format today. Oh, thank you, Lewis, for letting me know. Hi, Nate. I also heard there was a bit of an issue with a Patreon link. Can we see the link in Patreon? And is everyone slowly trickling in here? I saw that happening, but hopefully we can get it. Okay. But hello, everyone. We have a very special guest today that will be helping me because I'm not going to do this by myself the whole time. And we'll dabble in some Disney news. We're not going to do official topic 1, 2, 3. We're going to dabble a little bit, and then we're going to hear about something that I don't think a lot of us have gotten to experience yet. Some people have, but not everybody. So we're going to do that. Oh, Jeffers is a lifesaver, Lexi. I'm so glad to hear that. I don't even see Jeffers, though, here. So I think he helped you out, and then he just ditched. I think that's what's happening. But what I know is actually happening, it's probably in earbuds at work. So that's fine. Also, we are doing this in the resort. If you're watching this live on YouTube, we started this at Dillos Diz Resort. That is our Patreon. Level start at $1. We're just keeping it casual in the family here for now, but then we're going to release it to YouTube later today for everyone to enjoy. And and then Jeffers is home today. Excellent. So glad to hear. But thanks for joining us in the chat. And without further ado, I'm going to bring in our guest. Does anyone want to guess who our guest is before? Maybe we'll just keep this person back there while everyone guesses. This will be the only time we can place our bets on anything. So we'll just do it here. Who could it be? Who will we be bringing up today as my special co-host to dabble in some Disney news, to give us some special insights on special things? Papa Dillo. It's not Papa Dillos. Oh, Lewis says TPR. Interesting guess. All right. Any other guesses? We'll wait for one more guess here before I bring in this person. Drum roll, maybe if anyone else has guesses. I know this delay on the YouTube. It's always rough. The 7-year-old is at school today. It's hard to know because these kids and their sicknesses this spring. You never know who will be old. Oh my God, I'm not going to speak today. So thank God I have a co-host, not the 7-year-old, Lewis or one of the monorails. All right. Well, let's see who the special guest is. You know this person. You love this person. And they're representing by wearing some Dillos merch. It's Theme Park Rob! Yay!
Good job, Lewis. Actually, I was kind of disappointed when it wasn't Papa Dillo myself.
Papa, I mean, if we could get Papa Dillo on one of these one day, that would be pretty big, but I don't know that that's going to happen.
That would be so fun.
Yeah.
At least that's how I imagine it.
Right.
Maybe it would be the end of the show.
Right. That's possible too. They are heading to Disney soon this month. So maybe we could get like a little review when they get back. I don't know.
I was just thinking.
Were you just thinking of stalking them? Is that what you're thinking about, Theme Park Rob?
Well, that wasn't the word I was going to use. But
not like that. Mama Papa Dillo trip report. Maybe. Hello to Val. I know she's not here. I'm glad she is doing something for her though. So, and maybe she can watch it back later. So hello to her. So Theme Park Rob, while I have you here, we have you here for a special reason. But before we get to that, I wanted to dabble in some Disney news because that's what we do here on Theme Park Thursday Live. I didn't want to scratch that completely. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was Poof. Well, looky here. There's changes to Disney. Nope, I did Disney Plus. Rob and I were talking prior to this.
I'm glad you got it out of the way.
And Rob called it Disney Plus. And now I just did it. Genie Plus. You know what? Maybe don't add pluses to things, Disney. Maybe just keep one thing for a plus and that's it. Anyway, so there's changes to Genie Plus. And I don't know that we fully know what to think, how we feel about it. I'm going to bring up this screen, which is from Inside the Magic, as heard about in the Johnny Depp trial. Inside the Magic here says Disney scraps planning ahead changes to Disney. Oh my goodness, Genie Plus, even when I'm reading it, to combat demand.
I did not mean to do that to you.
Oh my goodness, you did it. You gave me the yips. All right, so this is all about Genie Plus, but new starting June 8th, Disney Genie Plus will no longer be offered as a pre-arrival ticket add-on at Walt Disney World for the remainder of 2022 and all of 2023. After the change, you will only be able to purchase Genie Plus through the app on the day of your visit. So I really just want to hear everyone's opinions on this because it seems like, why are we changing things already? We're already changing things when this is a new thing. And also, is this making it more frustrating for guests? Is it going to make things easier? I also read in the article how capacity isn't back to what it was pre-pandemic, and I feel like I want to argue that as well. Theme Park Rob, what do you think?
As a person that has used Genie Plus twice, Justin Monorail and I used it right after its inception, and just because we wanted to see what it was about. We had we didn't know what to expect, and our first time out, it was actually not a bad experience. Yeah, we've talked about it a couple times other places, but it seemed to work okay. Now, I say that, and this was last September, whenever it came out, last September, I guess, August, and Disney was still controlling the crowd levels, like really tight. Yeah. So it wasn't a bad experience. All I hear about now when I go into the parks and being able to be a local, I'm in there a lot. People are not pleased with the way that it works.
Interesting.
The second time that I used it, it wasn't as good of an experience. Partly that was my fault. I was using it at the wrong park because if you're using the Genie Plus, Genie Plus. I said it right.
We don't know what it is anymore.
Right. Make sure that you have attractions that are available. That's one thing that you need to do is make sure that there are attractions that are available for the time frame that you're setting it up in. Yeah. I don't know. Part of me thinks that Disney has seen that this isn't working the way that they intended it to, or working as well, or maybe they're not making the money that they wanted on it. And they see that the end of 23, maybe they'll have something different to offer or some kind of improvement on this. That's just me. I know we jumped right into speculation.
Come on, do whatever.
Yeah. I think this is part of Disney saying this isn't working the way that we wanted.
Yeah.
We're receiving too many complaints from our guests, which as of late, I don't know why that would bother them about Genie Plus, because they get a lot about everything else, a lot of complaints about other things that are going on in the parks or within Walt Disney itself. And they don't seem to react to it. This seems like a very quick reaction.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think that they have a problem with Genie Plus, and they're trying to get it under control.
Yeah, I also feel like, to your point about it's like a big reaction, it's like whatever the issue is, they're like, let's do this, and just shut down all this pre-planning for the next year and a half. And it's like, could we think that through a little more? Let's see. Jeffers says cue the surge pricing for Genie Plus, and good for them to create the sort of anxiety and anticipation of getting Lightning Lane for like a boarding group. Lexi says means it might be a better product. Being available to all unlimited creates an imbalance of demand for passes. Also, I think Lewis said too many people, not enough slots now. And also, they are actually reducing the money they make now. Yeah.
Yeah. To what Lewis had said there about too many people, not enough slots right now. I know that, again, I'm just going on what you can read and what I experience in the parks. They talk about how they are still managing the crowd levels, but we are in a lull right now. Next week, all heck is going to break loose in the park.
Yeah, for sure.
And there will be the crowds will not. You talk about too many people right now, and Disney coming out saying, no, we're controlling it. Starting next week, it's going to be a madhouse.
Yeah.
So if you think they have a problem with Genie Plus now,
it's going to be bad. Yeah. Lexi saying it was useless the 2 times she used it, created unnecessary anxiety about the 2-hour booking window, and by the time I got to it, only later times available around 10 a.m. Yeah. And I also, Jeffers had said, can't wait to stay up till midnight to buy Genie Plus for the day, then up at 6:45 to book Lightning Lanes. Yeah, it's kind of, that's true too. And I know that there are people, because if you are new to Disney and you have never been there before and you're planning a whole trip, when you're working with people, they're probably going to suggest, oh yeah, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this, and tack on these things that probably feel like, oh, well, this will make my life easier. But to Jeffers' point, if not everyone knows how to use it or what it's actually good for or how to do it, then it might be going to waste. So yeah.
That's a big problem too.
Yeah. Sounds like
some of their biggest complaints.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. Yeah. I just it'll be interesting to see the journey that Genie Plus takes, if it sticks around or what other changes may happen over the next year plus. I mean, I feel like if they're saying this through 2023, I feel like the next year and a half will be very telling of Genie Plus and what else they do to make those little tweaks and adjustments. I don't know. Well, I'm glad everyone's kind of just as confused maybe as we are about all this and speculating plenty. But our next topic that we were going to talk about, I feel like I was pretty excited about, and I was happy to see others were excited about, was Harmony Haircuts, which is that the Harmony Barbershop is reopening July 31st at Magic Kingdom. And Theme Park Rob, have you had a chance to visit Harmony Barbershop? Have you ever partaken in a haircut there? What is your experience with
I
Harmony?
have not. I have not had an experience, and I have not. I guess I did have the opportunity before it closed.
Mhm.
I just, for whatever reason, chose not to, or maybe the reservations weren't available. But it
Yeah.
is definitely something that I want to experience. And as soon as it opens back up, I don't think I'm going to jump in on the reservations because, I live here. I can walk over. I can drive over to the park and
Mhm.
do a walk up, and if it's available, it's available. But it is something that I would like to have an experience with.
Yeah.
I got to let my hair grow out a little bit more again next time, maybe this fall or in the winter or something. I'll do it. But I have not. I mean, to be honest, I think when it was open, it was all before we even moved down here.
Mhm.
It's been closed that long.
Yeah.
We may have peeked in, but we were head up Main Street and get out, head off the hubs.
Yeah, for sure.
So I never really looked in there. We did do Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, and I know I just jumped way ahead of what you were wanting to talk about.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
We did get to do that.
Yeah.
But Harmony Barbershop is on my bucket list of things to do at Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, I foresee a Theme Park Rob TikTok with your experience at Harmony Barbershop. Yeah. I can you get the little music playing, you get a little before and afters. I like it. You could do so many TikToks with that. You could do the transformation with your hair. You should really grow it out. So it's do it for the content, Theme Park Rob. Just grow out the hair.
I'll have to hire a plaid to hold my phone that day.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, you got to do what you got to do to get the content, But I'm excited about the 7-year-old had his very first haircut at Harmony Barbershop when on his birthday, or was it like the day before? No, I think it was on his first birthday that we grew out his hair, and it was kind of down to here at that point. So he had his first haircut there. He had probably 2 more after that, and then we were hoping that the 5-year-old would have had her first haircut there, but she has Rapunzel hair, and I think when we had gone originally, her hair was still kind of short, and we didn't get to it because of just the timing of the days. And then when we wanted to do it, it's been shut down, so we haven't had a chance. So this may need to go on a list for a future trip soon. Will they trim beards? You know what? I'm not sure if they do beards, but we'll have to find that out. Maybe they could do it and put some pixie dust in there. And then you just have pixie dust in your beard for years.
That would look spectacular.
I love it. Lewis went to get the car. He had his haircut at the Magic Kingdom one time. It was fun. He turned down the pixie dust. Lewis turning down the pixie dust. You never turn down pixie dust.
Like Lexi. I'm on with Lexi. Party pooper.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, well. I'm very excited about the return. All right. Theme Park Rob, we have you here for a very special reason. Because recently, you got to preview Guardians of the Galaxy. As we are calling this topic TPR of the Galaxy, because it's all about you and your experience. Can you walk us through what this like? So you got to reserve a time ahead of schedule because you're an annual pass holder, I assume, and then you got to experience it. And I want to hear all the details about it. And if I've gotten any of that wrong, just tell me.
Yeah, no, that's all correct. Yes, we did. We were one of just a few in our group that was able to secure a annual pass holder preview tickets, reservation. Thank you. For it, we had tried to get ours for D23 members, and those were gone like in moments.
Yeah.
But I was pretty excited. I got one for myself and Tracy and the 14-year-old. And I found out last week that Tracy was not going to be able to go, and
Mm.
Maddie's still in school, so
Yeah.
it was just going to be me. I was able to gift it to a friend
Mm-hmm.
and brought along Cocktail Bob, so we got to experience it together. It was fun.
Cool.
The outside of the area, which it's in the area formerly known as what is that? Ellen's Energy Adventure.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you that refuse to come up to the times, what was it before then? Was it the?
We
energy?
just like to call it the dinosaurs, but yes, a universe of energy. But
Yeah.
the dinosaur ride.
The dinosaur ride.
Yeah.
I'm glad they finally got the thing open, because it seemed like they had been working on it a long time. Not as long as Tron, it seems like, but
Yeah.
It's good that it's open.
Yeah.
So the queue went relatively quickly. I mean, they were hustling people through. Obviously, this is not going to be the norm on starting May 27th, I believe, is the day that it opens to the public. They have it themed really well. When you walk inside the building, the original energy building,
Mm-hmm.
it is. They have it's. I only remembered being in. I was only in there one time,
Mm-hmm.
and the vast expansiveness of it
Mm-hmm.
is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Don't be sorry.
No, it's okay. They have oh my gosh.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Lexi saying Tron's on day 1,555, day of construction. Yes, I have a counter. It's been that long. Go ahead.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That it has been that long. Yeah, when you walk in, you've got, like I said, there's screens everywhere, and it's almost like walking into. Initially, it felt like the test track area, like when you walk into test track. That's kind of the vibe you get from it, just the way it's set up with the sweeping walkways, the sweeping pathways, and everything. But it is nothing like it. Well, one, it still has that new smell, which was really nice.
I don't know if I like it or I don't, because it's new. So I prefer nostalgic, old, musty smells personally. So,
give it time. Give it time. I mean, it is at Epcot, and they do have the food and wine. And So somebody will Christian it right away.
Yeah, for sure.
They have a lot of models. I'm trying not to give. I'm actually trying to be very non-specific, because I don't want to give away a lot of spoilers. But the way they have it set up, I mean, for when the queue does open, you're going to be waiting in line for a while.
Yeah.
And they have plenty of things. There's nothing really interactive. I think they probably pulled all that. They probably had. They may have had something like that in store for it before COVID.
Yeah.
There's no touching. There's nothing to touch or to activate in there now. Yeah. But there is plenty to watch, plenty to view, plenty to read, plenty to experience. Just in the initial walking into the main room, into the Galaxarium. That's what they call it.
Nice. Do you think it's because some, there are, I always feel like Everest kind of set the way for detailed cues, where like before that, it always seemed like, oh, this is cool, but there weren't many details. And then I feel like since then, every kind of new ride that you see is getting more detailed in just the queue area. I think Pandora's like that. I think there's a lot like that happening now. Do you feel that way as you're standing here? Do you think it's more screens and big things, or do you think there's a lot of little things to notice as well?
There are definitely some little things to notice. They have what could be considered a Xandarian Epcot model, city model. It's set up. I think that's what they were trying to achieve we have our Terran Epcot model.
Yeah.
Well, they have theirs set up, and we didn't spend a lot of time looking at everything because there were people just pushing right on through.
Yeah.
We did step off to the side every once in a while if we saw something that we wanted to look at or just take in a little bit more. But they do have. I think it's more just to take everything in.
Yeah.
Try and tell a little bit of the story if you're not completely familiar with it. So, yeah.
All right.
I know that they have two pre-show rooms.
Okay.
Basically, they're just holding rooms. The first one is before you go into where the storyline setup is.
Okay.
So this attraction will eat a lot of people. There will be a lot of people in the first room. There will be a lot of people in the first pre-holding room, and then a lot of people in the pre-show room. So they probably had us at half capacity, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
Not like the old days where you just pack them in like sardines.
Right.
Right. All right. And then you go through these two rooms, and then is there still a line after that, or are you?
Yeah, it's
out?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Yeah. There's still a little bit of a queue to get into the loading station.
Yeah.
When you do walk in, you have some glass panels, and you can overlook one of the loading stations, which, again, the way they have it themed and the lighting that they have going on in there, and the music is playing in the background, which you don't really notice it until the end. Until right before you board. They've done a really good job with this.
Yeah.
You will. It's immersive.
Yeah, I feel like I'm picturing a mix of Rock and Roller Coaster, Test Track.
Yeah.
Kind of just those vibes. Yeah.
Yeah. That was one thing that we talked about as well, was comparing it to the other themed rides. Like I said initially, it made us feel, it looked like the Test Track setup area, and that's the way the ramps are, even going through back into the queue.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Rock and Roller Coaster, Space Mountain, it all kind of has those vibes.
Yeah.
But it's they're very fresh vibes.
Yeah. And then were you, I do want to do a comparison to like Velocicoaster, let's say, but are you someone that gets nervous on rides like this? Are you like super excited? Like Lewis would probably be jumping for joy to be on this, or where is your level of nervousness and excitement?
Oh, I'm definitely, I was not nervous at all.
Okay.
And I just told a fib. When they released the video, whatever it was, 2 years ago now, of the cars and showing them how they moved and spun around.
Yeah.
They do that, but it is not on that intensity level that they were showing. So I was a little nervous just about that, and not really much, so much for me, but more for Tracy, because she does have some motion problems. She does have some problems with motion, as you're familiar with. But I really don't think that it's going to be that bad for her.
Okay.
I think you would probably do okay too. I was very excited.
Yeah.
Okay. I was really looking forward to it. Lexi only got to ride it once. It was just a one-time deal. Yeah. It wasn't like Ratatouille when you pretty much had a free-for-all. No, I had an assigned time, and they just, once we were done, we had people in front of us that were trying to ride a second time, and the cast member was like, "You've already used this." He said, "This is a one-time only." They were taking them back to the exit area.
Yeah.
But, it was just a one-time.
And then comparing, can you compare the actual ride to anything else in Disney? Do you think I think you just went on Everest yesterday, right?
Yeah.
So if you're comparing it to Everest or Space Mountain or Rock and Roller Coaster, do you think it surpasses all of those? Do you think it's on par? What do you think?
I will. Let me say this: for a new attraction, for a roller coaster, and they are referring this to as an extreme roller coaster. This ride, this attraction definitely surpasses all of those. Yeah, it is on par with the excitement and the speed of Rock and Roller Coaster.
Yeah.
But for obvious reasons, you have that whole Space Mountain vibe to it because you can't see the track because it is so dark in there.
Yeah.
Or at least the track. But along the walls and along the track, the length of the track, there are screens and star fields, and they have large models. They have the moon and the Earth, the Andromeda Galaxy. All of these things are in there, and this is going to be a multi-ride attraction. You're going to have to ride it several times just to be able to take in everything because there's so much happening.
Yeah.
Does it go fast? Yeah, it moves along pretty good, but it is. Part of it is because it's so new. I mean, it's because it's brand new. It's butter smooth. I mean, there's no jerking. It's not like Space Mountain where you have the sudden drops or the dips.
Right.
It does not invert. It does not even overbank. But the cars that you're in, you are, what do they call them? The Star Jumper shuttle. It's like being like the Omnimover type track, like what you would have at Haunted Mansion. That similar type car.
Okay.
So as you're moving through, your scene changes. You might be facing straight forward. You could possibly be facing, like you're sitting in a row facing out from the track. Or it could have you backwards watching as you're traveling backwards. So there are a lot of exciting elements to it.
Yeah.
But it's not herky jerky. You don't get that head, your head isn't getting tossed around.
Right.
It's very smooth, and it's definitely a exciting ride.
I think since Velocicoaster, I now need to ask, like, how are you secured in this vehicle? Because I'm not going on the Velocicoaster with the lap band.
Yeah, this is just a lap bar.
Yeah.
This is just a lap bar.
Bands? I meant bar. Okay,
and just lap bar. Two people side by side.
Okay.
And it is very comfortable. I'm a large person. I'm a plus person, double plus sometimes. And I didn't have any problems pulling the lap bar down. I didn't have any problems, fitting into the attraction. So that's not a problem, which really isn't that. I mean, I really don't think that's a huge problem with the Disney parks anyway, the Disney attractions. So, there's plenty of room. But yeah, it's just a simple lap bar. Again, all you're doing is just moving along a track.
Yeah.
And it's
interesting. Yeah.
It's
so
exciting.
that you were already answering Lewis's question here of how comfortable is the seat.
Yeah, the seat is fine.
Yeah.
It's kind of scalloped on each side. It's not like where you have it's not. I guess it is like that on Haunted Mansion. You do have a little bit of a scallop to the seat. So yeah, I don't think you'll have any problems, bud.
Yeah, I was seeing some people probably on TikTok saying that Velocicoaster didn't make them nauseous, but this ride did. So it's like interesting of what is messing with people and what isn't. But I have heard the same opinion you have, which is like, I don't think you'll have an issue if you are prone to sickness like that. So I don't know who has to try it out of the people we know with motion sickness to be the guinea pig for it. But
I have a person here. I mean,
yeah,
Tracy will be a good tell because
all right,
she can like flight of passage. If she really wants to do it, it has to be like the last thing of the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
She does not do well on that. So that's the level where she's at.
Yeah.
As far, so I feel like you guys are.
So she doesn't do well on Flight of Passage.
No.
See, I found it. I had like a moment where I was like, "Ooh, no, I'm okay." And that was pretty much it for me on Flight of Passage. But I think I was also so focused on like, please get through this ride, and I don't think I was trying to play it smart by like, don't move your head, don't move your eyes,
Right.
So that's interesting though that gets her. So she will be a good test if she actually wants to do it. Then she will be a good test of what's. Oh, and Belle's going to try it too. Okay.
Yeah. I think that what I have noticed, at least for me, with my motion, if I do have motion problems, vertigo, is if I can see like movement. This is like just being surrounded. It's almost like a Omnimax type screens. That's what it feels like. So I mean, you're constantly moving.
Yeah.
But you don't get that sensation. It's almost like you're just, passing from one TV screen to the next.
Okay.
With that being said, though, maybe that's part of what what really bothers people.
Yeah.
You do notice one thing jumping like toward the end of the attraction. You do notice that the budget constraints hit them. There was supposed to be a Groot and Rocket animatronic in the beginning. That's not in there. And at the end, you would expect them to continue with the large screens.
Yeah.
For the end of the ride. And it's almost like just like it would be like a 65-inch monitor.
Right.
So you can tell that. At least this is my opinion.
Yeah.
You can tell that, but the budget crunch hit Disney on this attraction, which again goes back to concerned about Tron. Where are they cutting? Where are they making cuts for that?
Right. Yeah.
But for the theming, you can't beat it. I mean, we had. I'm trying to remember what song we had, but it was you have I think 6 different choices for songs, and they say that the song that you get makes a difference.
Okay.
I heard a couple people
how
say
you
that they had. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was just tacking on to what you're saying of it, different experience because of how you're listening to it and how you're seeing things, or do you think what you're seeing changes with what you're listening to?
Well, I don't think the scene changes, but I think the way that you absorb the scene is a way is how it affects your ride.
Right.
I heard a couple people when we got off talking that they had Everybody Wants to Rule the World. And you think, man, that's kind of like a slow song and does it really work? But some of the reviews that I've read and the people that I heard talking that day, that song really nailed it. And some people feel like they are a little emotional with that song.
Yeah.
Just because of everything that's happening, obviously subconsciously that song is playing, with everybody right now anyway.
Right. Interesting. So I have said before that I feel like Guardians has gotten the Dillo treatment, where it's been Dillo'd a bit, and maybe that's because Epcot's not up and running fully yet. Yeah. Maybe they are just previewing it, but do you think this lives up to the hype of what people were hoping for from this ride? Or do you think, I mean, I know you mentioned the budget constraints a bit, but outside of that, do you think it still isn't like, oh, this is an awesome ride and it exceeded expectations?
Oh, I think
yeah.
I feel like it exceeded my expectations.
Yeah. Okay.
I was very, very happy with the experience that I had on it.
Yeah.
You're going to have the ones that, they want to knock because they want to knock.
Yeah.
But I think that this attraction, it definitely lives up to the hype.
Okay.
It's probably the best. Here we go. It's probably the best attraction on property right now.
Ooh, that
and I know that
is a theme park Rob hot take.
Yeah, I mean, I can can do Haunted Mansion and I can do Pirates over and over and over because I love that attraction.
Yeah.
But that's that nostalgia that kicks in there. This attraction is
New and cool.
Probably the best one going right now. I mean, even I know that's going to ruffle some feathers with Star Wars fans, with Rise of the Resistance or even Smuggler's Run.
Yeah.
And I love those, but I'll say this. The music choices that they have in there, I mean, I'm a Gen Xer. Early generation Gen Xer. So these songs hit me right in the feels.
Yeah. That's pretty big. Yep. Yeah. Everyone is high praise from Theme Park Rob. If anyone has questions, place them in the comments. I'm trying, I had another question and now I am blanking on it, of course, because my brain has not been functioning. I'm going to blame the rain today for it not functioning.
Disco Inferno was the song that I had.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that worked.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it was fun, and it was a good song. It was a good song choice for us. I was happy to have that one.
Do you think that this will be, we were debating because we are headed down there this summer and we were like, is this a ride we can maybe try with the kids or maybe one of the kids? What do you think in terms of kids being on the ride? Do you think it's still a little something or too much is what I mean by something?
There's nothing in it that is loud or lack of a better term, violent. There's nothing like that. There's nothing loud, no bangs. It is a soundtrack and with music and then conversation overlaid with that with the characters that are in the storyline. As for the ride itself and the way it propels and moves through the attraction, I don't think that it's that bad. I don't think it would be that bad. I really don't. I mean, your kids and people, and that's one thing you'll have to obviously understand is if your kids don't like dark spaces or if they don't like that speed sensation, this is not for you. But I don't know. I would, if I had my kids, if they were little, if they were 7 and 5, or I would like, let's go, guys. And
let's do it.
I think they would be okay with it.
All right.
I really do.
Good to know. Yeah, because as you're talking about it, I'm like, oh, maybe this isn't as big as I was thinking it was in terms of like a roller coaster type ride or whatever. So I'm like, oh, maybe we do all try this.
Yeah, it is not scary in that sense. It is definitely a thrill ride, and it would be an e-ticket if they were still had the ticket book. It would be an e-ticket ride. But it would definitely be worth it. I'm looking forward to this attraction opening up and getting a virtual queue, a virtual queue for it, because I'm going to go back and experience it.
Yeah, that'll be good. And do you think? And did they say it's going to be virtual queue?
Yeah, they've announced that. It'll be similar to the way it was with Rise of the Resistance and Remy's. There'll be an opening at 7 a.m. for a virtual queue, and then in park at 1 o'clock. And I understand, I read it someplace preparing for this. I actually got prepared. That if you're an on-site guest, there is a 6 p.m. virtual queue, but you have to be staying on property.
Oh, interesting.
So that's just what I read.
Yeah.
But the virtual queue I know will happen at 7 and 1.
Okay.
1 o'clock, I'm pretty sure you have to be in the park to attempt that one. Okay. And I'm sure they'll go fast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It'll stay like that for a few months, and then they'll open it up, and you'll have a 3-hour wait.
Yeah. Of course.
Or you can always try Genie Plus.
On the day.
Not
day. Any sooner. I know I'll have to do it. Let's see. I think I'll have to do it. Lexi, I also want to answer a question from earlier. It's a new ride, but it smells musty. Would you accept it? Listen, if it like could smell like how the Polynesian lobby used to smell with its big musty fountain, I mean, yeah. But I accept new rides, especially when they do new rides like something like Tron, which did not have to tear anything else down in order to put it up. I accept new rides more when they do things like that. But that's just me. Theme Park Rob, this was fantastic. Thank you. I appreciate your feedback. I appreciate your no spoiler approach. And I think it gave me new insight because I do feel like I haven't known enough about it, and I had assumptions in my head that seem like are just not the case. So I appreciate.
Yeah, I'm glad I could help. I avoided any of the spoilers. As you know, it's only been open a few weeks now, so I avoided everything, or I tried to.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew that there was even just the release from Disney that, excuse me, that, you know, they had different soundtracks for it. It would be a different experience each time, or as often, or try to be different each time.
Right.
So I avoided them just so I could take it in, and that's why I'm saying it's definitely going to have to. It is definitely going to be a multi-experience ride. There's so many fun things in it, though. With, I mean, they have Easter eggs in it. There's some jokes and some punchlines that reference back to the old nostalgic Epcot. So those got some laughs in the pre-queue. It might be take a tissue, Jen, because you might need one.
I don't need it. Listen, I just watched the last episode of This Is Us this week, and I'm still not over it, so I don't need to be crying more. I just don't need to. Theme Park Rob, where can we find you in the internet world?
You can find me TikTok, which we've mentioned several times in this episode. YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. I'm at Theme Park Rob everywhere.
Excellent.
Or you can find me in the parks. I'm in the parks several times a week. Not hard. I'm not that hard to miss. I'm one of the biggest people walking around.
I feel like you have been getting back in there more.
Oh, what was that?
I feel like you've gotten back into the parks more.
I have.
Yeah.
Well, we were going through the Easter break, and then, you know, the spring break that lasts like 2.5 months, 3.5 months now. And then we got into the cheer group, which, you know, I'm glad they're having a great time. I don't want to be there.
Right.
I've been there before, and that's a lot of kids. That's a lot of loud, lot of excited cheers.
Yes.
Cheerers.
Yes. Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you again, Theme Park Rob. Thank you, Dillos Diz Resort guests, for hanging with us and chatting with us and getting your questions and comments in. We will be posting this on YouTube shortly for everybody else. So if you have any questions, leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe, do all the things. And I guess we'll be back next week in one way or another.
One way or another.
Until that time.
They're in the playlist.
Nice.
So.
All right. Well, good to know. Until that time, he is Theme Park Rob. I'm Jen. I'll do Frank's bye-bye as well as deuces.
Take care of everybody.